Hello and welcome to Camera Review. Today we're looking at the specs of the Sigma 24 to 70mm lens and looking at what it is bringing onto the market in terms of competition. Now, up until now, this lens was only available in the Sigma mount. Now it is going to be available in Nikon and Canon mount. And if you look at what wedding photographers or professionals use, they use 24 to 70 millimeters a lot. And that was one of the big money makers for wedding photographers. And for this very reason, they rely on this lens. Of course, there's one important factor that we've been dismissing is the fact that Canon has been producing the same lens year after year. The only improvement they have had from the previous lens was this Mark II version. But yet still they do not have optical stabilizations and many other things that has gone into this lens that is coming out from Sigma. Now, before I go into all the details, I want to tell you what it is going to do in terms of market share and how it's going to structure it. See, up until now, Sigma had many issues, especially in terms of quality. They had issues with autofocus. And for that very reason, a lot of professionals shied away from owning Sigmas. But you know, they have changed the way they've been manufacturing lenses. They changed their strategies, and now their quality has gone way up. In fact, they have surpassed the quality of many of the big players. In fact, if you look at the way Nikon has been going, they've taken their production out to China and other third world countries and made their lenses there. What happened? The quality plummeted, and that's why Nikon has been losing share, and that is one of the reasons people have been looking to purchase lenses from other manufacturers. And Sigma, being a very progressive company, has put a lot of control on the quality issues, and for that very reason, they have manufactured some of the best lenses in the market in the last couple of years. Now, one of the things to point out is that not only do they have stellar quality, they also have very good optics. In fact, their optical design has surpassed what is being offered by Canon and Nikon in some respects. And you can see these on the MTF charts. So let's look at what this lens is offering. This lens is a very complex design. We're looking at it that has 19 elements in 14 groups. So there is a lot of glass. It's heavy. It's weighing around 800 grams, and that is a heavy lens. But what's important is that this lens delivers quality and it delivers sharpness. Beyond that, it has as much of the distortion and chromatic aberration removed from the lens. So the professionals, when they go out in the field and they're going to shoot weddings or they're going to do any kind of photography, they're going to get as better performance than what Canon and Nikon has been bringing to the market. If you look at Canon, in the past, they've been producing their 24 to 70 f2.8. They had the first version and then they had the Mark version. Now you're putting it side by side between these two lenses. You see that they both have 82 millimeter front thread. They both have this dust and water resistance, or splash proof as they say. They both have very good optics. They both weigh about the same weight. But what is important is that their coatings are the ones that make the difference. Now, the coatings that they have are very good. It removes ghosting. If you're gonna do wedding photography outside, outdoors, those flares are gonna be reduced dramatically. Also, the chromatic aberration is going to be reduced dramatically. So when you put these two lenses together, comparing the Canon to Sigma, Sigma outperforms Canon in a lot of respects. And sharpness wise, when you look at the MTF charts, Sigma is a better performer. Now, one of the most important questions I get asked about this lens is how does it perform in the autofocus wise? Now, it is important to point out that autofocus has been a major issue which Sigma has been putting a lot of emphasis on. Now, these new lenses are much faster and they work in hypersonic just like the Canons. In fact, their motors have been upgraded to work at 1.3 times faster than the previous version. So you're going to be able to capture those shots much better, and it's going to be able to focus much faster. Also, these lenses come with these USB ports where you can upgrade the lens software, making it more compatible with the new lenses coming out. Now, this is not available with the Canon lenses, and it's an important factor because you can take your lens to a Sigma dealer and they will do a fine focusing for an adjustment for your particular camera. So that means you are going to capture better images every single time. Now, if you look at these specs, both side by side, you're going to see that they have a lot of similarities. Of course, Canon has a different lens structure. They have 18 elements and 13 groups. So it is different than the 19 to 14. But if you look at it, they're both very complex lenses. They both have very similar characteristics. But one thing that Sigma has over the Canon is the optical stabilization. Optical stabilization is one of the things that people have been asking, because when you're out in the field, those blurry shots are going to be reduced dramatically if you are going to use an optical stabilization in lens. So this gives you a wide variety of opportunities to shoot with wide open without having your shots being out of focus. Canon has 18 elements and 13 groups, and Sigma has 19 elements and 14 groups. So they both have very beautiful structures, and they are both well made. But the important factor is, what is Sigma bringing to the table? They are bringing two important factors. One is the new port, which allows you to upgrade your lenses with the new cameras that are coming out. Also, they have optical stabilization. Now, this is something that people have been asking a lot from the lens manufacturers, and Canon has been lagging way behind in delivering this, that this optical stabilization is going to allow professionals to shoot photographs wide open and making sure that those photographs give them good shots. Looking at Sigma and Canon, you can see that they both have very similar characteristics. They both are very complex lenses. They both offer dust and splash proof. They both have very, very good build. But what is interesting is Sigma is bringing two important factors. One of them is, as I already mentioned, is that you can upgrade your lens with each new camera that's coming out, and that gives an advantage to Sigma. But more importantly, it has optical stabilization. Optical stabilization allows you to shoot wide open and still nail those shots. And that is very, very important if you're a professional, because you don't get a chance to take the shots a second time. And it is for this very reason optical stabilization is become the mainstream and the most important thing that the professionals have been demanding. Now, Canon, when you look at them, they've been dragging their feet into bringing something as important as optical stabilization into their zoom lenses. Yet, this is something that we've been all asking, and Sigma has been delivering. So now Sigma brings so much pressure on Canon, they're going to have to move and make new changes into their lens. I give you one good example. Recently, Sigma announced 85mm at 1.4. It has optical stabilization, and now it has been competing with Canon's f1.2. Now, Canon just announced that they're going to do the Canon f1.4 with optical stabilization. So now the question is, why hasn't Canon come out with optical stabilization before? It is because they didn't have the competition. Now, Sigma, being the company that they are, they're very progressive. They bring out incredible lenses into the market. Their 18 to 35mm DC lenses just stormed out the market. Now, this lens, 24 to 70mm, is going to be a game changer. And it is for this reason, it's a lens to consider if you're a professional. So you look at Sigma, it's well made, it's as good as Canon, and you wonder, why should I buy it? Well, there is another important factor to consider, and that is price, because price is a major determinant of what you are getting for your money. Now, you look at the Canon, it has $1,700 price tag. That is very high, and they don't lower their prices. They have been having that market share for a very long time, and they've been very comfortable. Now, you look at Sigma, they haven't yet announced their prices for the Nikon and Canon mount, but considering from the Sigma mount, which was $900, I'm expecting it to be the same price. So $1,700 versus $900, that's about twice the difference. And what are you paying for that difference? Well, you're getting better price. You're getting better price at Sigma. You're getting better optics. You're getting better MTF charts. You're getting as much as what Canon is offering, plus optical stabilization, you may wonder yourself, why am I going to buy a Canon anymore? And that's one of the reasons Sigma is going to be one of the major players in the market. And for that reason, I suggest you look into this lens if you are looking for a 24 to 70 millimeter lens, and if you're a professional, because professionals, they demand quality, they more importantly, they demand optical design that delivers performance. And with optical stabilization, Sigma is going to change the game. Now, I will be also doing a review on the Nikon 24 to 70, and I will put side by side shots of these two lenses. Also, I'm going to be doing with the Canon, so stay tuned. Next week, I will be announcing what these lenses performances are, but I can tell you right on, I've used their 50 millimeters, 35 millimeters, 24 millimeters, just about anything that Sigma has put out, and they are stellar, especially with the improvements in technology and quality. I think they are here to make a dent in the market. Now, if you have enjoyed this review, please press that like button, subscribe to our channel, and visit our website at camerareview.ca, where I will offer you discounts and offers on things that you can get free of charge, and sometimes at a deep discount, because people miss out on the fact that you can get better prices from things that are offered. And people send me offers, and I said, I can pass these on, so I'll pass them on to you guys. If you want to use it, you can use it. And of course, we have Patreon and the donations button. Please help us to make these videos, because we are not sponsored by camera companies. We are not sponsored by some camera shops. We buy our own equipment. We do our own research. We do our own testing. And that is why we bring you unbiased and independent reviews. So I thank you for watching, and I see you next week.